Once, when I was in training, we had to do an exercise where we had to get to a site, meet a contact, convince that contact to do something that they didn't want to do, they probably shouldn't do, and then RTV, return to base, safely and securely. There's a lot of steps in an exercise like this and a lot of stress. It lasts hours. And you can get dinged for a lot of different things. I'll give you an example. Another time, in another exercise, I got in trouble because my windshield wipers were stopped halfway on my windshield when I parked. You might ask why. Well, after the exercises, the instructors during the debrief said, "What were you doing? What the hell were you doing? Why were you moving so fast? What are you talking about? Your windshield wipers were stuck halfway on their windshield." Oh, they were? Yes, we knew that you got out. Why'd you get out of the car that quickly? Nobody does that. So we're going to put additional surveillance on you. And they were right. I was operational. What happened was it was raining, and I parked, turned off the car, and got out so quickly. I was moving so fast that my windshield wipers didn't have time to set. They didn't have time to go the rest of the halfway distance down the windshield. The instructors noticed that and deduced accurately a conclusion from that, and I got in trouble for that. So you can get dinged for a lot. The consequences are also high. They can hold you back. They can cut you. They can prevent you from going overseas. That's very stressful. And the consequences should be high. You should be able to perform. You need to be able to perform and execute in situations like that. And so you do the reps, you go through it, and you make sure that you can. Because if you can't, the consequences overseas are even higher. So they need to be stressful. We need to be put, through that selection. People need to get cut. Anyway, for this particular exercise, I want to do well. I want to get sent home. So I prepared as much as I possibly could. Now, of course, also they put you under time constraints. You're also sleep deprived, so there's only so much preparation you can do. But the first thing is, you think through, okay, all the steps that you got to execute in this, multi-hour operation. You visualize each steps, and then you what if it. Okay, what if I don't have gas? What if I get a flat tire? What if there's somebody at the site that's not supposed to be at the site? What if he's late? What if he's early? All these different what ifs. You go through it, boom, boom, boom. You get yourself ready. So when it came time to do the exercise, I executed. I went out, met the contact, got home safely and securely, did what I was supposed to do. I thought I did pretty well. Afterwards, during the debrief, the instructor said, look, the instructor was playing the role of contact, one of the instructors. He said, technically, you did everything you were supposed to do. You checked all the boxes. He goes, but it was very clear that you were checking boxes. And during the most critical point of the exercise, when you really needed to connect with me, to convince me, you were disengaged. That was terrible. You weren't present. You weren't there. I didn't believe you. I wasn't sold. And then at that point, he told me something that was really useful. It's really simple, but it was really useful, and it stuck with me for the next 20 years. It's stuck with me now, but I used it in the field. And what he said was, look, go one step at a time. There's only so much you can do. And he was right. Simple, powerful truth. Go one step at a time. There's only so much you can do. You got to go point A to point B to point C to point D. You can't worry about F, R, Q, and L because you don't control those steps. I needed to hear that. That was very useful for me because it released expectation. It made it easier. At a certain point, you are prepared. And anything beyond that is counterproductive. And you become your own worst enemy. You were just putting additional stress and pressure on yourself, worrying about things that you can't control. Once you're prepared, you got it. And the best thing you can do is not care as much about the operation or whatever it is you're doing. If you're giving a speech, at a certain point, you got it. Stop stressing about it. Stop worrying about it and just execute it. He was also a Navy SEAL. And so he taught me a breathing technique that he uses and a lot of Navy SEALs use to help center themselves and make themselves present and control adrenaline in stressful situations. It's called box breathing. I'm going to teach it to you now because the adrenaline is real. In a stressful situation, even giving a speech, your adrenaline gets up. And at that point, your brainstem gives you two options, fight or flee. That's it. There's no in between. Now, if a lion's chasing you, okay, useful. If you're giving a speech, maybe not so useful. You're going to fight everybody in the audience or just flee, just run off stage. There's some medium there. So Box breathing is very simple. It's a 4 count. Inhale for 4, hold for 4, exhale for 4, hold for 4, repeat. I repeat 4 times. So it's like this. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 1, 2, 3, 4. And repeat. This helps control stress and adrenaline. It helps you control your emotions and brings you back to the present. I've used it numerous times on operations in stressful situations, or before even giving a speech. A lot of you have stressful jobs. This might also be useful for you as well. There's several other breathing techniques that you can use. You can experiment with them if you want. Skull shining that yogis use. Wim Hof has a technique that he's used if you look at some of the stuff that Wim Hof has done and attributes to his breathing work, it is very impressive. So you can experiment with these breathing techniques, find something that might work for you and see if it does. And if it does, great. You have another tool to help center yourself, bring you back to the present, control your emotions, and operate and execute